Imagine you're having a conversation with a really smart friend who knows a lot about almost everything. That's what ChatGPT-4 feels like. But how does it work? What makes it think and reply? Let's dive into the fascinating world of ChatGPT-4's architecture, breaking down complex concepts into bite-sized, easy-to-digest and understand pieces. Whether you're a tech newbie or just curious regular user, stick to the end. I'll guide you through this in a way that's engaging and simple to understand. What is ChatGPT-4? ChatGPT-4 is a version of a model called GPT, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It's like an advanced brain designed by artificial intelligence researchers to understand and generate human-like text. Think of it as a digital librarian with a knack for holding conversations, answering questions, and even writing stories. But how does this digital brain actually work? The basics of GPT architecture. At its core, GPT-4 is built on a concept called a transformer model. This model is all about processing and understanding sequences of words. Imagine you're reading a sentence. Your brain doesn't just look at one word at a time, it considers how each word relates to the others. That's what transformers do, they pay attention to the context around each word. The transformer model is like a sophisticated recipe for understanding language. It uses something called attention mechanisms to figure out which words in a sentence are important and how they relate to each other. This is like having a highlighter that focuses on the key parts of a sentence so you can understand the whole message better. Self-attention mechanism. One of the key ingredients in this recipe is the self-attention mechanism. This allows the model to look at each word in a sentence and decide which other words are relevant to it. For instance, in the sentence "the cat sat on the mat," the word cat might need to pay more attention to sat and mat to make sense of where the cat is and what it's doing. Layers and depth. GPT-4 is built with multiple layers, each one adding a bit more understanding. Picture a multi-layered cake where each layer adds complexity and flavor. In GPT-4, these layers help the model grasp intricate details of language. The more layers, the deeper the model's understanding. This depth allows GPT-4 to handle more nuanced and complex sentences. Pre-training and fine-tuning. To make GPT-4 smart, it goes through two major stages: pre-training and fine-tuning. Pre-training, the learning phase. In the pre-training phase, GPT-4 is exposed to a massive amount of text from the internet. It's like cramming for an exam by reading a ton of books and articles. During this phase, the model learns grammar, facts about the world, and how different words and phrases are used in various contexts. It doesn't understand language the way humans do, but it learns patterns and associations between words. Fine-tuning, the polishing phase. After pre-training, GPT-4 undergoes fine-tuning. This is where the model gets tailored to specific tasks. Imagine if after all that cramming, you needed to focus on just one subject, like conversational skills. Fine-tuning adjusts the model's responses to make them more relevant and accurate for particular uses, like answering questions or solving a math problem. How ChatGPT-4 generates responses. So, how does ChatGPT-4 come up with answers? Here's a peek into its thought process. Tokenization. First, when you type a message, it's broken down into smaller chunks called tokens. Think of tokens as pieces of a puzzle that make up your message. For example, the word thank you might be broken down into smaller tokens like thank and you, or just kept as one piece, depending on the model's design. GPT-4 then looks at these tokens and uses its attention mechanisms to understand the context. It doesn't just read one token at a time, it considers how each token relates to the others. This helps the model understand the meaning behind your message. Once GPT-4 has a grip on the context, it generates a response by predicting the next word or token based on what it has learned. It's like filling in the blanks of a sentence. The model uses probabilities to decide which words are most likely to come next, aiming to craft a response that's coherent and relevant. The role of training data. The effectiveness of GPT-4 depends heavily on the data it was trained on. It's like learning from a diverse set of teachers. The model's responses reflect the information and patterns it picked up from its training data. This is why it can handle a wide range of topics but might also occasionally produce outdated or incorrect information. It's always good to double-check facts. Challenges and limitations. Despite its advanced design, GPT-4 isn't perfect. Here are a few challenges. Biases. GPT-4 can sometimes reflect biases based on its training data. This means it might unintentionally produce responses that are biased or unfair. Researchers are constantly working on ways to mitigate these biases, but it's an ongoing challenge. Context limitations. While GPT-4 is good at understanding context, it's not infallible. In long conversations, it might lose track of earlier details or misunderstand the context. It's like having a conversation with someone who sometimes forgets what you were talking about. Looking ahead, the future of ChatGPT and similar models is exciting. Researchers are exploring ways to make these models even better by improving their understanding of context, reducing biases, and expanding their knowledge base. As technology evolves, we might see even more advanced and capable versions of these models. To sum it up, ChatGPT-4 is a marvel of modern AI, built on sophisticated technology that allows it to understand and generate human-like text. From its transformer architecture to its training phases, every part of this model contributes to its ability to hold engaging conversations and provide useful information. Whether you're using it for work, learning, or just for fun, understanding how it works can make your interactions with it even more effective. So next time you chat with GPT-4, remember that behind those responses is a complex and impressive piece of technology designed to make your digital conversations as smooth and meaningful as possible. That's the end of today's video. Please like and subscribe if it was useful. More on the way soon. Have a nice day and bye.